Well, hey everybody, Silverback here. We're going to go take a ride down to a historical site over here down the road from me. It's Cold Harbor Battlefield Park, otherwise known as the Cold Harbor Killing Fields. It's a rainy, wet day out here. I ain't got no new guns or anything fantastic to show you. So I figured I'd take you on a little ride and maybe take a little walk around there and the trails and stuff and show you some sights of some of the stuff we have right down the street from my very own house. Alright, see you there. 1864 Overland Campaign. The fourth spring of the war began when the Union armies launched a series of offenses across unconquered portions of the South. The action in Virginia included 3 separate campaigns, each defined by aggressive advances from Union commanders, while smaller armies fought in the Shenandoah Valley and around the Bermuda Hundred region south of Richmond. General Ulysses S. Grant sent the largest northern army against General Robert E. Lee's Confederates. The ensuing series of battles is known today as the Overland Campaign. I guess that's what we're doing here at the Cold Harbor Killing Fields, as it's otherwise known as. Alright, let's go play with some cannons. Who's this guy? Reed's Battalion. These cannon mark the approximate position of a 4-gun battery belonging to the Richmond Fayette Artillery, part of Major J.P.W. Reed's Battalion, that held strategic points along the Confederate main line. The battery supported General Alfred H. Colquitt's Georgia Brigade on June 1st of 1864 and took part in the repulse of a Union attack.
They all died at the end.
They didn't all die, but from some of the stuff I was reading, this was the bloodiest battle of the entire Civil War. Not the most people dead, but the bloodiest battle. Bruh. Bruh. Man, these cannonballs weren't that big, were they? Looks like there's animals nesting up in there. Yeah, look at. Don't fire till you see the whites of their eyes. Look, she's taking off. Battle of Cold Harbor, the Confederate main line. Here, Longstreet's corpse with Breckinridge and A. Phil's corpse. Oh, A.P. Hill's corpse to the southward, repulsed on June 3rd, 1864. 14 assaults from the east against the Confederate main line. The Federal losses, about 7,000, were the heaviest ever sustained in America in so brief an action placed by the Confederate Memorial Liberty Society. Sorry, like I said before, my third grade education is terrible. I can't read very well either, so. She doesn't want to be on the video, but we're following her. Shh. Don't tell her I told you. It's kind of a beautiful place. Too bad it's a cold, rainy day today. A little bit of history. No guns in this video, but this is where guns were used. Cannons, the cavalry rode out across these fields. It was a bloody, bloody battle. Alright, on June 1st, 1864, Confederate soldiers of Tom Klingham's North Carolina Brigade frantically dug this trench. They anticipated a Union assault later in the day. Around 6 p.m., Federal troops of the 6th Corps moved into position near Old Cold Harbor, a half a mile to the east, and with 2 hours of daylight remaining, received orders to attack. This would be part of the first Union assault at Cold Harbor. Emory Upton's brigade of 2,600 Union infantry attacked here. An intense bloody battle ensued. Eventually Upton's men reached this earthwork and clung to it despite repeated attempts that evening to retake it. Yeah, look at all the trench, big mounds you can see. A lot of the brush is overgrown here now, but down this way you can see like the valley of the trench. I don't know the camera if it's showing you good enough, because I know how cameras tend to flatten things out a bit. Walking the trail down here. Alright, well, let's carry on. Alright, stand guard and stay awake. This well-preserved rifle pit is one of the many that extend across this hilltop and along the entire front. It marks the most advanced Federal position in this sector, only 50 yards from similar Confederate pits on the opposite crest. Soldiers were posted in these depressions, gave early warning of any unusual enemy movements because they were so close to the enemy. Many of these positions could be occupied only at night. I guess that's the ditch right there. Little rifle pit. Can you see it? I don't know if it's good enough to see, but as we walk along here in these trails, some of the stuff I've read about this place says, you know, sometimes at night you can still see Confederate soldiers riding their horses through here or running through like they're still battling after all these years. I don't know if you believe in ghosts or whatever, but I mean, it could be possible. It's kind of creepy. See if you can read that. Lethal occupation from this advanced Confederate line constructed after the Grand Union assault of June 3rd. Lee's sharpshooters searched for targets. They were near enough to the Federal line that enemy voices could still be heard. Between June 3rd and June 12th, consistent skirmishing, artillery firing, and the deadly business of the Union and Confederate sharpshooters characterized the Cold Harbor fighting. Up and down the line, soldiers feared the work of these marksmen with their long-range rifles. One Virginia artilleryman considered the sharpshooter little better than a human tiger lying in wait for blood. Ah, man, I guess, you know, stuff got pretty advanced, you know, had sharpshooters, and the artillerymen were definitely in fear of the sharpshooters, just sniping and picking them off one by one like a tiger would, crawling through the woods elusively and then just pouncing its prey. Pretty cool, man. Oh, it's not playing. Well, there it goes.
June 2nd, 1864. Having won the foot race to intercept the Federal Army at Cold Harbor on May 31st, Lee's army began digging in along a 7-mile front. You were in the center of that position. The determined veterans of the bloody battles of Spotsylvania and North Anna had mastered the skill of earthwork construction. Using bayonets, coffee cups, shovels, and even canteens broken in half and bent into scoops, the Confederates quickly mounded the sandy soil into impressive breastworks. The defenses became nearly impenetrable. A frustrated Union officer...
What's this say? It's just a solar thing to power it up, I guess. See all these trenches back here behind me. You know, there was people of all ages out here fighting back then for the war. You know, it was crazy, man. You know, I couldn't even imagine warfare like that. You know, you see all this stuff nowadays with all our modern weaponry and everything. Just these guys were soldiers, man. They fought a hard fight. You know, out here in the weather, and you know, down here in June in the summer in Virginia, it's really hot and humid, man. These guys, they suffered. I'm sure a lot of them died from dehydration and stuff like that, as well as, you know, just death in general. But man. Ooh, we got another talkie thing. Grant's Assault. Let's see, is this one gonna work? Oh, here it is.
June 3rd, 1864. In the misty dawn, 5 Union corps along a 7-mile front formed for a grand assault on the Confederate line. All that separated the armies here was a field that had not been plowed in several years. There was no protective cover for the attack. These
like some trees have grown since then.
The Potomac knew from hard-won experience the dangers of headlong attacks across open ground. Only sheer courage, determination, determination and the hope that the Southerners could be quickly overwhelmed gave any assurance of victory. Commands were given. The lines moved forward. An officer in the 139th New York would later write, "Amid the roar of artillery, a long line of Union troops moved forward to the charge. The advance was made from the cover of a wood, across the open space to a line of low breastworks. Our charge was met by the enemy with a murderous fire from hundreds of cannon and from tens of thousands of rifles. Shot and shell, grape and canister and mini balls mowed the men down.
I'm getting soaked.
Our advance was
Good thing my camera's waterproof.
the men falter and fall back with broken ranks before the irresistible storm of lead and iron hail." In the initial charge, Grant lost about 4,000 men. Another 2,000
That
fell later
might
in
not
the
be
day.
good. Might be copyright.
The attack on June 3rd, so long labeled one of the bloodiest assaults in the war, was not even the bloodiest day of the 1864 Overland Campaign. But what sets this famous episode apart is the sense of absolute futility and despair that accompanied the Union repulse.
Oh, that's the end.